any fights this week? Oh, man, we got to have some fights.
Yeah, we were here. We were here the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about.
April Fools!
Hey,
I have the show, right? 2 days late.
Yeah, we're not late, Kate. We make an entrance and make sure everyone's here, sat in their seats and ready for the show. And we are back every Wednesday like we always do. Asylum, or how it is listed. I am the Oakland Raider Savage, and to my computer right, it's Asylum. How you doing, Asylum?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I'm dealing with damn allergies right now. And before we even get started on everything else, I just want to wish Lyle Alzado a happy heavenly birthday. Today's would have been his birthday. So, happy birthday, 77. And I hope I do your number justice. I try every time I put it on.
He's in our opening credits. You see him. And what was the rule that the NFL did to change because of him?
The Lyle Alzado rule. Cannot use a helmet as a weapon or throw it back at a player because it fell off. You have to hand it over nicely. Myles Garrett tried to hand it back, one way, and now it's got to be really nice. You can't put it back on the player. You can't throw it at him, say, here it is. Can't toss it, so you got to just basically leave it on the ground, let him pick it up. Just like a quarterback, you got to lay him down gently.
Well, speaking of rules, we're going to have Miss Peggy and the Peggy's perspective see what she thinks about rule changes and how it'll affect the Raiders and all that other stuff. But before we go into the actual show, it's our favorite segment, Shameless Plug.
Yes, go to the YouTube channel, The Cage Match Show. Like, share, subscribe, give a thumbs up, hit that little bell so you know every time we come on. If you don't do YouTube, you can catch us on Facebook on the Oakland Raiders Savage page or the Asylum page. Give us likes, shares. If you're into it, give us some stars. Help get us out there and get more and more people going. And the main thing is subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Subscribe to the channel. And also, W.
Oh, yeah. W. Don't forget W. WGG. Yeah, WGG. And when you're done with your order, ready to check out, in the promo code, put Cage Match, one word, and you get 10% off your whole entire order.
10% off, one word, Cage Match. When you think of wins, you think of dubs. When you think of dubs, think of W. And like we always say, to get that energy, like Max Crosby, dub yourself, W.GG. Here we go. I just added that little dub yourself.
That little part of nice, so gotta change it up every once in a while. Don't want to get stale.
Oh yeah, you always gotta just
like McDonald's French fries 5 minutes after you buy them.
5 minutes, man. You guys got some good fries because it's like 3 minutes. What's it?
Out here, you got to eat them while you're driving home because it's a 30-minute drive after you hit fucking McDonald's and shit. So otherwise, you're gonna have stale fries.
I know. But besides fries, before we start falling off the hinges on McDonald's fries and everything like that, basically flavored styrofoam. Let's go into our favorite correspondent, our favorite guest. Not even a guest. She's a permanent fixture every other Wednesday. Yeah, do you have it ready?
She's a cage match fixture. She's no longer a guest. She's part of the cage match crew.
Yes. She'll come off the top rope with the elbow and knock you out. You got that video ready? The intro? Yeah. All right, here we go. Peggy's perspective. All right, here we go, Miss Peggy Holmes. How are you doing?
Hello, just fine, just fine. We are doing a shout out today. How
there we
you
go.
Doing? And I want to go right into the rules changes because here we go with something that is debatable. I don't know what to think, and I'm looking out there for our audience, and of course to you, Savage, and to you, Solemn, to explain to me why the hip drop tackle, the elimination of it, caused so much controversy.
The hip drop tackle.
I think it's the only reason it's causing controversy is nobody really understands what a hip drop tackle is. You have everybody that basically, if you fall on the legs, it's considered a hip drop, and I don't think that's what it is. It has to do with the twisting of your body and then dropping all your weight, then landing on said. See, like right here, how he twists his hips down to the bottom and kicked his feet out. If he would have just dropped straight down, that's not a hip drop because he's just part of the tackle. But because he
Savage, play that again. Play that thing again so I can so our audience could really get a feel for what it. Play that again for me. Where is the problem?
Okay, when they show the close goes here, that last part of it where his hips, his ass and legs swing around in the middle of the tackle.
Oh, I see.
Right here, right there. Even how he it started off being okay, but he bounces off and swings his ass and hips, and then basically all his weight's on the person.
I see what you're saying now.
That there could be, I think, could be considered a hit, because the way he's coming in. I think this is just an unfortunate. That's just unfortunate there. That's not a hip drop.
Right.
Right there, I don't think it's considered a hip drop. That's definitely not a hip drop. He was just tackling in the way he fell. In this case right here, that it's just because you can't stop from when you're tackling. Here he kicked out his hips again. He kicked them out and swung. And I think that's where they're considering as a hip drop. Because you're basically dropping your hips and using momentum to tackle instead of just dropping, a normal tackle you grab and just, in the process, you'll fall down and sometimes your weight and momentum takes you to the ground first, but you can still consider going. Now, we did have a question. I know nobody's got an answer for it. I think the best thing they could do to help with this and deal with the rule is that particular flag going to be reviewable? Can you challenge that call if it's called?
I
think it needs to be just to be able to get clarification at times and be able to force the refs. Because as I said, this is to help Patrick Mahomes. Every time somebody falls on his leg, he's going to get a flag at a key point of the game. That way the Chiefs can get their three-peat because, we all know Goodell wants the three-peat.
I'm trying to understand how are players supposed to unlearn what they've been learning sometimes since high school. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
Actually, we actually have AP talking about the hip tackle.
was that my cue?
Oh, no,
yes, it was. No, go ahead. Say.
There's a wide degree of disagreement on this the hip drop tackle. That rule is going to be coming up, it sounds like, today, I think. What's your view on that technique?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's a technique. I'm a former player. At the end of the day, you try to get a guy down. I think there's 1,000 ways to get the tackle. I don't think there's one right way. Certain players, they don't have the physical strength to take down a 240-pound man or 220-pound running back. So I don't think it's being taught, to be honest. I think it's just something that's, when you look at the way the game is played, it's such a horizontal game, the angles. We talked about it yesterday in that meeting. I think it said 40,000 plays on the season, and that play showed up around 250 times. So you're not talking about something that happens as often as we're talking about. But the disappointing part about it when it does happen, injury, right? You're talking high ankle sprains, fractures, MCLs, ACLs, the knees. So, anything that you can do to protect the player and player safety, I'm all for. But I don't think it's being taught. I'll stay away from that.
So, yeah, basically, we determined last week that this is one of those overreactions that they all voted for. But it's not the tackle, which I said is more of a survival. Like, I'm just trying to take you down. Running backs or whoever the ball carriers going north and south, tacklers are coming east and west, angling, tackling, whatever, and they're trying to use any kind of momentum they can to bring him down. I get the horse collar. I get it, because you're pulling the guy's, basically his equipment backwards. I get the face mask that's been around for a long time, but to stop your momentum and to defy gravity to take someone down is just, unless you get some Wonka candy and start floating around and you can do all that, whatever, maybe it'll help. I don't know, but that's just something like you can't. How do you determine that as a tackler? How do you determine that when you grab the guy? Okay, let me make sure now if you let him go, he just broke a tackle. Now,
Yeah,
you can, if you would have took him down.
That's what NFL and Roger Goodell wants: high-scoring fucking games. How do you do that? You take the defense out of the game and basically just let them go out and see how quickly they can score. With two-hand touch.
I've heard the word flag football used when people are talking about this. And of course, we got flag football in the Olympics. I think it's a demonstration sport or something. I'm not sure.
They're trying to get it in, and they're starting it off small with the flag football. They're doing it for both, women flag football and men flag football. I think they're starting. They're trying to do it to ease it in, to maybe get to real football. Who knows? I don't know if they'll ever be able to get to real football in the Olympics, just because nobody's going to want to watch.
We're not even playing real football anymore.
And Kenyon Drake.
We're not even playing real football anymore.
I don't know whether y'all saw it, but remember Kenyon Drake played here for a few years.
Yeah.
He complained that he got nicked and injured and was out like 4 or 5 games because of a hip drop tackle. A lot of running backs are talking about it, and I don't know what kind of opinion to take. I don't know how you ask guys.
I've got the percentage here based off of AP's numbers. He said 40,000 tackles and only like 248 times that's happened. And that's 0.0062% of the tackles are hip drops.
See, that part I don't know. I know what
I'm just using the numbers that was given to us and going. So it's a small part of the game, according to. And like you said, there are players who've come out and supported this 100%.
Yep.
And I get it. They obviously understand the definition of a hip drop better than we do.
Mm-hmm.
But my question, and the only reason I'm not a big fan of this right now, is it's going to happen at a critical point of a game. We know the ref's going to call a hip drop. We've seen pass interference calls on a play that the ball wasn't even thrown to the guy. We've seen phantom holding calls. We've seen phantom top blocks. We've seen phantom everything that affected games. and we've got no way to counterbalance this with the challenge. We can't challenge most penalties. So when this comes out, like I said, when you want to help a certain team, a ref could just, that looked like a hit drop tackle to me. Let's throw the flag. Patrick Mahomes get another set of downs. Let's go ahead and go. Get your first down. Go ahead and get your touchdown and get this game over with.
Exactly. And that's the inconsistency. You see, at this point, people don't have the confidence in the refereeing system that they should have. And as a result, every time something like this happens, all of a sudden it's that now we got to trust these refs to call or not call yet another play. And it's just the integrity, the credibility of the ref system itself. And I've always said, I'm going to tell you guys, if you're going to fix an NFL game, that's where you go, right to the refs. There's no question about it. You can't affect the plays that happen, but you can sure affect how the refs see those plays. And that's how you can get to and corrupt a game.
And they're trying to get a ref up in the booth to be able to sit there. I know they're trying to get that guy in the booth. That's the next step. I mean, this is football. They get paid a lot of money to play the sport. They know the consequences of playing the sport. They know injuries could happen. They know it. You know, it's either that we can keep going this way, but let's start cutting those players' salaries because of the game. You know, because of this shit, and see how quickly they'll be like, no, go ahead, leave those rules in there. I'll take my chances. You know, because I mean, Patrick Mahomes, $500 million for his 10 years. Now you start taking that away because all the rules are benefiting him and it's turning into flag football. See how quickly he says, no, let him go ahead and hit me as hard as he wants.
Oh, right.
But see,
said no one ever.
that's the NFL is playing that, they're on that gray area on that line where, they want the action, they want the touchdowns, they want the hits, but at the same time, they don't want their star players to be knocked out of the season, like in the first game, like Tom Brady a long time ago when they made the Tom Brady rule. You can't hit a quarterback under his knees in the pocket.
So do we hold the turf liable for fucking Aaron Rodgers in? Do we take the grass out of the game?
Well, see, and that's the next one too. They're trying to ban artificial grass because it's not natural. Player could be used to, natural grass, and then they step a certain way that they're used to natural grass, slip, ACL, slip, Achilles. So they're trying to take that out. But, I don't know. The NFL is playing. That's what they're playing with.
For his Achilles on grass, you got the 49ers player, Kinlaw, who slipped coming off the sideline. Greenlaw, who slipped coming off the sideline, tore his Achilles. So we gonna ban grass next too because it's hurting players.
Yeah, that's next. I mean, you all know where this
was
is going.
mowed wrong or something. I mean, if we're gonna do this, I mean, these players are getting bigger, faster. Everything's going. It takes one little slip up, and they're injured. It's a violent sport. It's a contact sport. Shit's going to happen. That's why they're getting these big, they get paid a hell of a lot more than I do. And guess what? At my job, I could die if somebody fucks up and goes. I don't get paid extra because my job's more dangerous than theirs.
Tell me about it. What other rule changes are we talking about? Tell me more about the kickoff thing. What's going on with the kickoff
rule? There's a lot going on in this kickoff rule. But we do have examples of it, and it is right here. Here is right here. So that's a normal lineup, but we're not doing that no more. We're going to shift it over to the XFL style right here, where everyone is right here, 5 yard, like a 5 yard, I don't know what you call it, little red area, between the 35 and the 30. And then you have the receiver back there. He's basically alone, and the kicker's alone. So he has to pooch kick it to the kicker, and once the kicker touches the ball or when the ball hits the ground, then everybody else can go in motion.
It hits the ground within the 20-yard to goal line box. There is a box that the ball can hit. Right. Once it hits that or the returner touches the ball, then everybody else can move.
And here is a live example of that. There's the kicker. You see how it lined up? Once he kicks the ball, these guys right here, they can't move until the ball gets into that box that Asylum was talking about, where that's the kicker right there. Once he gets the ball, then everybody else can go make the tackle or make their blocks. And
if the ball hits within that box, the other team has to return it. They have to return it. So if it hits the ground or he touches it, he has to return it. There is no fair catch. There is nothing of that. Then you have the little add-ons of if it bounces into the end zone, if it doesn't, if it bounces out of the end zone, if it goes straight through the end zone where the ball's going to start off. But they're trying. I like this only to the extent is it brings back the kick returner as a factor in a game. And, I know Devin Hester is probably pissed off. He's like, where was this shit?
When I was playing.
Cordell Patterson's going to benefit from this kind of shit.
With the Steelers,
it will bring the kick returner. And I like that aspect. I just don't know about the rest of this other aspects. And we'll have to see how it ends up working. But it does bring back at least another skilled position, which has been missing here as of late. Oh, and the addition to this on the onside kick, you have to declare it beforehand, and then it goes to a normal alignment, and you're only allowed to do an onside kick in the fourth quarter.
All right, and isn't it something about you have to declare that you're doing an onside kick now?
You have to declare that you're going to do it. So basically, the other team knows it's coming.
All right. And again, where y'all seeing all this leading to more favorability for the offense, more points, more fun. And let's talk about what
more fun. I like a good defensive game. A defensive game is fun to me. I'm a defensive kind of guy.
But think about what's motivated. The NFL has been trying so long to go international. And international audiences, what do they want to see? What do the Japanese want to see? What do the Germans want to see? What do the Brazilians want to see? They want to see touchdowns.
They seem to have been happy with the product we put out there so far before all these rule changes. They're just happy to see American football.
And look, they'll sit there for 2 hours and watch a 0-0 soccer match. No problem.
No problem. Like I said, a good defensive game. To me, I like a defensive game. I like the strategy, the back and forth that goes into shit. I hate seeing one-sided games. I don't mind seeing a shootout.
But going back to what Peggy said about the international play, they don't mind seeing a 0-0 game. Everyone got upset because we lost that 3-0 game to the Minnesota Vikings. All right, O'Connell couldn't throw one touchdown. What's going on? We don't have an offense, and we couldn't get 3 points. And what's going on, man? This is the worst game ever in the history of the Raiders. Nah, I can give you other games in the history of the Raiders.
But think about why the NFL is trying to get more points on the board. I mean, I think it's for those international audiences. I mean, they've got stadium venues lined up all over the world. Brazil is just the tip of the iceberg.
That's just the newest one, yeah. That's just
Chile, South Africa, of course, Japan. Even there's talk about China, India. They're seeing big dollars.
Oh, they're trying to expand out to get teams out to these other, Germany, London, Mexico, maybe Brazil, to go out there, because if they have more teams, that's more money. Right. It comes down to the almighty green dollar.
Jesus. Can you imagine playing 2 away games in Brazil and 2 in Germany and Sweden?
But would you compare this? I'm just throwing out something, because when you said they want to see more scoring because they want to see more revenue, that's almost like when baseball a long time ago when they allowed steroids in the game, and then they made the ball even, like they tightened the the yarn inside the ball even tighter so they can see more home runs. And everyone came back to baseball and they loved this. Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, magical summer season, and then they came out, oh, they were on steroids, and they kind of backfired on baseball. And I'm not saying that this is anywhere near that, but I'm just saying is the change of the product. The NFL thinks it's best for the sport, and I get it. You're trying to prevent injuries, but like Asylum said, it's a collision sport. You're going to get hurt in a football game that you're going to participate in, whether it's a minor injury or a serious injury. You're going to get hurt, and you get paid.
We even talked about it too. That 49er player who, when CTE came out and everything was real, made the decision in, what was it, his second year in the NFL, decided, you know what, this is real. My health is more important. I'm going to retire now and do something better. He made a choice. I respect him for his choice. It was his choice. That the football game was, he did not want to take a chance. He's seen what other players, I know, I've seen some of these players. I met the Jim Ottos. I met the players who have had long-term health issues, having problems walking, in their 60s and 70s. I've seen it. And, now that they know about this shit, some of those players didn't know about this shit because way early on, but those guys were Ironman. Jim Otto, Ironman. I mean, he didn't miss a game. He'd have a broken leg and still be in the goddamn game. He was an Ironman. That was the cost.
That's the cost. The cost is your long-term health.
Yes.
And if I want to add Earl Campbell. I was shocked to see Earl Campbell in the wheelchair. But the way that guy ran in his running style, hitting people, moving people out of the way. I wonder what John Riggins is up to. Similar style runners like that.
Well, I think that's part of the reason why Barry Sanders left early. He could have stayed in the league longer, but he knew what was going to happen. He knew the wear and tear, and decided, I'm going to get out while I can still and have a good quality of life. Now, when you're getting paid this money that they're getting paid now you weigh options. It's a decision. Do I make this money and deal with the consequences of my long-term health, or do I take less money, get out early, or do I just give it up? I mean, we all take risks in our job. We all have decisions to make in our lives that could affect a lot of things. I remember a time back in the day when they say, would you take $1 million to get in the ring for one round with Mike Tyson? I said, give me the fucking money. I will go that round with Mike Tyson. I'll be laid the fuck out. I'll be in the hospital, but I have my $1 million. My family. That's right. I have family. Whatever damage is done to this face can't be any worse than what's already there. So, I'll take my chances. I'm going to run for as long as I can. I'll pull a Floyd Mayweather and run around the ring, but he's eventually going to catch me. But I know the risk. I was getting in there, and I'll take the $1 million. I'm willing to take brain damage to get that $1 million. At that time, I was
so what other?
I want to comment real quick. The NFL don't really have like because didn't former NFL players have to set up their own foundation for the wounded players or the players who's had long-term injuries and all that. Of all the money that the NFL makes, why can't they have if you've been in the league for an X amount of years, you not qualify for lifelong healthcare or whatever, because they help contribute.
The cost of that to the NFL is not willing to pay that. The NFL is a greedy not monopoly, but a greedy corporation who's only thinking about themselves and their pocketbook and not the players. But that's why we've got everything else going up. The cost of our salary caps. The players paid so much, which is put on the teams. And you got to remember, there was people who did that. Al Davis kept I can't remember who the hell the player was either, but kept him on the damn as a coach, in the building, no matter what. He really didn't do much, but he kept him there because he needed medication and he wanted to make sure he had his medication in order to live. You have ownership that does take that responsibility. You do have some ownership, but the problem is you got these greedy, in some cases, owners in the NFL, and I'll call them, they're greedy bastards who only care about their pocketbooks and give a flying fuck about everybody else in the world.
So, what other rule changes are we talking about now?
Well, they also did some changes to challenges and replay. One of them, or these ones, coaches get a third challenge attempt if they win one of their 2 challenges. Before, you have to get win both of them to get a third. They're going the replay assistance. I'm assuming that's an automatic review. If there is a call that is objectively wrong for intentional grounding and roughing the passer, they got you can review now an expired play clock, because that's happened a lot, where guys will snap the ball at like -1 second and it's still good. And rolling of a passer down by contact or out of bounds before throwing a pass are now reviewable plays. So now you can review if the quarterback was out of bounds throwing the ball and all that. So they expanded they expanded those rules.
If he was down or he was out of bounds, you can now throw the challenge flag and challenge the play on the field and see if it was or wasn't.
Well, see, this is my issue, and I'm serious. It's not the plays that are called; it's the plays that aren't, the penalties that aren't called. And I don't know how you fix that. You know, I see stuff going on all the time in games, and I'm wondering, where's the flag? Yeah, I mean, you've been sitting there a million times. You know it, guys. And
I call it every game. Matt Crosby is held and in front of a referee, and it's not even called.
Where's the flag?
He's held every goddamn play, and we all know it.
That's
not held, he gets the sack. Or he'll get the sack.
The NFL has their biggest integrity problem. People don't trust the referees because they see plays and they don't call it. Now, how about this old saying, well, if we called every holding on every play, the game would take 5 hours.
Well, maybe teams losing because of a stupid holding call, players to stop holding. You know, that's on coaching to teach them not to hold. Teach them not to, you know.
You know why they hold. You hold for 2 reasons. Number one, you have either bad technique or you're getting beat.
Yep.
Let's just call it the way it is. And the Raiders' penalties went down. I'm so proud of them. This year, our penalties we were number 1 in penalties not being called.
Yep. And we had 2 games. We had absolutely no penalties.
No penalties. You're getting beat. Okay? The reason why you're getting penalties called because you know you're not good enough for the player that you have to check, cover, whatever, block. And you want an advantage. And you reach out and do something. And
Sneed's going to find out the hard way that he's not as good as he thought he was because he ain't playing on the Chiefs. He's going to be called for more PIs. I've already said it on the show. I said everyone watch for this, because I guarantee he's going to get more PI penalties because that man is a dirty player in that aspect because he can't cover anybody unless he's fucking holding them or over
the arms. And it's blatant. It's the penalties that are not called that I have a problem with the NFL. And I really don't like what I see. It's very selective. And this is what makes people come with these conspiracy theories. Before it was New England being favored. Before it was, the Raiders are being picked on. I mean, all this stuff gets currency because you see it every week. I'll never forget that Kansas City game. Blatant holding by Sneed against the Vikings. I don't know whether y'all saw it. Late in the 4th quarter. Game was on the line. The Vikings are driving. Blatant holding on the play. It wasn't called. Not only that, then the player, the flag did come down. Then the player takes his helmet off.
Yep. And then he was told to put it back on instead of getting the automatic penalty. We're taking his helmet off.
What happened to that? It was this is where they say things that make you go,
Well, you also have. We'll go back to the playoff game where Patrick Mahomes broke his helmet because it was so cold, excuse me, he should have been taken out of that game for one play to get his helmet fixed, and the backup should have come in. Instead, they stopped the whole game so he could get his helmet, get it right, get it fixed and everything, and allow him to come back on. The rules are, if his helmet, if his equipment is not right, he should sit. He needs to go to the sideline, sit out, so the game could continue. But instead, they gave him all the opportunity he had to get his helmet right. No, he should have been out. His helmet broke. It did its job. It's great, all that shit. But instead, they start making special rules. They start letting players get away with shit. And you know, like Anna said, she said, you know, we need to start holding refs accountable because they're allowing this shit. I mean, it's we got to start making rules blatantly black and white instead of having this gray area for the refs to be able to do shit. Make it black and white. A hold is a hold.
But this is the question. Some people say, well, you need full-time referees. That would make them better. Maybe, maybe not. You need to fire. Then the next thing, you need to fire refs who continually make missed calls or make bad calls or calls that get reversed. Okay, let's say it that way.
The problem with that, then you have nobody wanting to become a ref. Now you're going to have a shortage of refs and everything else there.
We're gonna bring back the temp refs, the temporary refs. Gonna blow another Hail Mary play again.
I mean, again, it's human. It's in the hands of human beings. As long as that's happening, we're gonna see stuff missed. Something
that's why there's the talk of having somebody up in the booth who could see plays that are happening and can overturn a ref on the field or call a flag. If he sees something that wasn't called, he could call down and say there was a holding penalty, throw the flag, it was on this person. And the question is, how much time do you give that guy in the booth or in New York? Because baseball has the whole thing of when they do a review, goes back to New York. New York makes the decision, and then the umpires go. So, you know, you use technology to your advantage, but the question is, how much power do you give this person and how long are you going to take? Because like you said, you know, we can't have a game take 5 hours, but you could have somebody in there and then that person's held responsible. You know, give a ref with that power in the booth, he's in control of the whole thing. If penalties ain't being called or the wrong penalties are being called and he's allowing the shit to happen, then his ass is on the line somehow, some way.
Interesting.
I just think it all goes to, like we were talking a couple minutes ago about the tackling rule. You're making the refs having to dissect a play and intent. You have to dissect a play in a matter of seconds. How he landed on his legs, is that a flag, is that not a flag, or the way he grabbed them, is that a flag, that's not a flag. You know, you have these rules in the rule book that are what I'm saying. You have these rules in the rule book that are like, how do you feel, ref? Do you feel that was a tackle? And I can go back to the tuck rule at the time. Well, you get to judge his intent. You are allowed to go into the quarterback's mind off of what you saw, and you get to determine what he thought he was trying to do. You have to go based on his intent. The physical nature of the body is doing this, but no, I don't think he was trying. Well, his arms are going forward.
Savage. So, you are a beast, man.
You're trying to make these refs like be psychologists. Throwing up. Well, I feel like he was trying to make a good tackle, but he felt a certain way. I'm gonna have to call it. I'm sorry. I know that's not what you meant to do. So I'm sorry because you stepped on a shoelace wrong. We're gonna have to throw a flag, 15-yard penalty. I'm sorry for that one right there. It's just you're putting too much power in the refs, and they're not qualified to handle all that power. You want them to dissect something, and yeah, okay, you got somebody up there in the booth or somebody up in the whatever. Another city, New York or whatever, calling it, but then that'll slow down the game because then they're going to look at 5 different replays, and I don't know if they didn't throw a flag, if it was like something Kind of like, let's say, the championship game against the Ravens when Siragusa went and corkscrew jammed Gannon's arm into the ground and they didn't throw that flag. That one I would like reviewed. Okay, yeah, that one. And I would say those kind of plays, like the tackle and all that. See, I want to say coaching review, but then they be throwing the challenge flag all the time. I only got 3. I only got 2. If I win one, I get a third one. So I don't know. I don't know if you can fix that. You can make the game safer, but it's like trying to make a freeway safe for pedestrians to cross.
Now, here's what I propose, especially for plays like holding, okay, which happens on every play. I feel like a hold that changed the play, that either made the play successful or any kind of penalty that affected the forward progress of the ball or anything like that. I think that those kinds of holds need to be called. There we go again, Savage. This is why I loved what you just said. We're into the minds of the players. Okay. So now we got to figure out the result of the play was Max Crosby gets held. Okay. The result of the play was they get a 7-yard run on his side. Is the ref supposed to come back? Okay, I called this hold because they got a 7-yard gain because they held him. Or, I mean, I tried to look at it from that aspect. Certainly penalties that change games need to be called. I mean,
yeah,
like that just blatant holding that I saw in that Viking game. There just was no flag. I kept looking. I mean, excuse me, there was a flag, but they picked it up. Okay. And not only that, the player got angry because of the flag, and they didn't call that either, the helmet. Would New York fix that? The guy up in the booth, is he going to fix that? I mean, I don't know what to say. How about, plays that aren't called? All right, in a few minutes that I got left, I want to go to our lineup here. What we got on offense, I love that graphic you showed. Projected starters at offense, and I very auspiciously, the right side of the line are the no names.
Yeah. Jordan Meredith at guard, he was a rookie last year, so he'll be going into his second year. He did pretty well against the when we mollywopped the Chargers. Ben Brown, I don't remember him seeing him get any playing time. Thayer Mumford, he's in and out. I mean, he I think if he gets a chance, he'll be more consistent. But the rest of the guys, this is what we have on the current roster, and of course you have what you're going to see in the preseason, the Aiden O'Connell versus Minshew if there is no quarterback drafted in the first round. But
please,
this is what we have on the roster right now.
To me, more importantly, and I'm doing a couple of mock drafts right now, and I am gotta say, I am not thinking about quarterback for number 13. I mean, I'm listening to trade offers.
No, that's what I've been doing in my mock drafts too. Trade back.
But the right side of our offensive line, once again, going on 20 years, we have had consistent problems. Right tackle, right guard. I'm looking at a true right tackle, guys, or a corner. And since we don't have the defense up there, I'm just going to talk about true right tackle. I'm not talking about a guy who we want to convert from left tackle to right tackle. And, okay, hold your horses. I'm looking at Latham from Alabama. Now, he's a true right tackle, but unfortunately, he's from Alabama.
Actually, I can't remember.
Is the hair standing up on the back of your neck right now? Is the hair standing up? Alabama. And no, I don't want Fuaga. His arms are too small. Okay. And I'm looking at right tackles. The drop off the cliff is considerable after you get there. But I want a true right tackle. I love that boy Alt out of Notre Dame, but he's a left tackle. And I don't know what to say. Of course, y'all could look at right guard, but I haven't finished the film watch, but I haven't seen a right guard that's beasted on me yet. Not in the film, anyway. I'm not really head turner. We talk about for first round. And then, of course, there's corner. But
I like Troy Fontenot right there. Don't forget about Fontenot. He for the offensive scheme we're running with damn, what's his name?
Well, but the problem, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Fontenot is a good one for that.
Yeah, but he's left tackle. He's left. He's not right. He's played left all his life, and I feel like that makes a difference.
No, he's a right tackle.
Is he? I have to look again. I must have. Is that the boy from Oregon or
the guy from Washington?
Washington.
The guy from Washington.
Yeah, they don't rate him too high. I think they rate him second round.
Right. Not Fashanu. I know who you're talking about from Penn. I'm talking about the guy from Washington. He's a right tackle.
He is a right tackle. I have to look again because I was actually looking at the top 10 tackles in the nation. And I don't know. I would use number 13 there. And then right guard, maybe we have to look for one in the free agent market, guys.
I think we're going to have to. And I think we're going to get somebody probably when they start doing cut downs off of teams and everything. That's where we'll get our guard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he might not be as young as we'd like him to either. He might be an old vet.
Like an
incognito. If we somebody decent for a couple of years to fill in the spot until we can draft the guy we need. Sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah, groom someone. Yeah.
And some of the guys that I talk to, they're not real happy with it. Now we're switching to defense. I see that little unnamed DT. Remember I pointed that out?
Yeah.
Of course, that's our rotation guy. Okay. That's who we talked about: Wilson, Butler, Jenkins. Is that what you guys are thinking about for that position?
That's who we have.
Maybe Silvera.
In a second year to prove himself.
Yeah, he might come in. He's kind of a what do you call him? A hole filler. He fills that spot. He might be more for the run game and everything to fill that hole versus getting to the quarterback. But that's what's for some of your tackles, that's what you want, a guy to fill a hole, to bounce them out into your defensive ends to make the tackles.
But I like the rotation a lot. I like where the offensive line has to guess who they're going to be up against every play.
Who they're going to double team. I mean, you got the three starters there with Kuntz, who started to come out. You're going to have to double team Crosby. You're going to have to double team Christian Wilkins. I mean, that's four guys on two guys right there. Then either you're going to have to do Kuntz with a tight end or a fucking running back. And if you don't, he's going to fucking make it. And then if you decide to go to wherever, then what? We've seen Crosby triple team and still get a sack. Wilkins, they say that, same thing. He's got a motor similar to Crosby. So if that's the case, and he's got some speed to being a big boy, he's getting in some of those holes and blowing up plays.
And you know what I hate the most? And anybody that's been watching me for the last 10 years know, all I've been talking about is defense. And all I've been talking about is D-line. And all I've been talking about is beast DT. Okay? And all of a sudden, everybody's on the gravy train now, right? Oh, wow, we've got, one of the best D-lines. Nobody was concerned that the reason why the Raiders defense stayed in the bottom 20s all the time was that we did not have a worthy D-line. And D-line is where everything starts on the defense. I'm glad we've got guys that finally see this. And
a good D-line is going to help out your secondary because you don't have to have the best secondary when you have a good D-line. when that D-line's forcing the quarterback to throw early, but busting up plays like that, that secondary it becomes, twice as good as what they originally were when your D-line is doing their job.
Exactly.
And then when you have a good D-line, a good push from the D-line, you don't have to use extra guys to put pressure on the quarterback. They can be back there in coverage, better in their zones or whatever. You don't have to bring that extra guy down. And you could do it, as a surprise, like a blitz, corner blitz. But
a good D-line is going to help your blitz.
Mm-hmm.
That's a guy who's unblocked and now putting even faster pressure on a quarterback, if not getting the sack. That's going to help the Spillanes, the Diablos, the not Matson, what's his goddamn name? Masterson. And
to see all of this again is something that the Raiders have had, a job that Raiders have had in front of them for years to fix the defense, is that front four, if you're going to play a 4-3, that is. And it's without having effective pass rush, all kinds of problems sprung up in our defense. I mean, we couldn't defend anything. Now, wait a minute. I know y'all love Max, but there were 3 games where he had 0 sacks, okay? And I maintain it's because of the lack of the presence of a guy like Wilkins.
Yeah. Okay? When you can put all your attention to one player, everybody else should be able to step up, having one guy guard them. And, Max can only do so much, especially with the bum knee that he had. He's still out there playing. Never missed a game. They took him out for a few plays towards the end of the season because of that knee. But if you have the whole defense focusing on one guy and you have basically 5 offensive linemen blocking one guy and the other guys can't get in there, then, they need to start making some changes to make other guys step up and make some plays.
And
it was starting to happen, by the way. By the end of the season.
It was with Jenkins, Butler.
Butler,
they started coming out. Tyree started playing better. Helped in the middle, Koontz is going to get a contract. Koontz is going to get his contract because we had players that kept saying we needed to get Crosby help. But then Jenkins and Butler came in and started doing it. Koontz came alive, started doing it. Now you add Wilkins, and they even talk about Wilkins is about as much of an Iron Man as Crosby. He's right behind Crosby when it comes to the percentage of plays. He's in the game, 84% of the plays.
But more importantly, Savage and Asylum, you both said it. He's going to draw the double team.
Mm-hmm.
And when this is a numbers problem for the offensive line, play to play. Wilkins has to be double teamed. If you don't, you're going to pay. Crosby has to be double teamed because you don't. That's 4 guys.
Yeah.
Now, what do you got left?
You have 1 offensive lineman, a possible tight end, and a running back there trying to stop anybody else that's left.
And all of this is going down within 4 to 5 seconds. I mean, you really have to decide as an O-line, oh my God, if I take the chance to leave Wilkins uncovered, he's going to get a sack. He's going to get my quarterback. See, we never had a guy like that in the middle. That was guaranteed.
If you bring that safety up, even if it's just a look, now that tight end's got to look at the safety because they might be blitzing, and who's that going to do? All of a sudden, you got one other guy. You could have Koontz left one-on-one. Oh, that might leave Crosby one-on-one, depending on where he's lined up, and then bam, behind, tackle for loss if it's a running play, stack if it's a quarterback, or now you're forcing the quarterback to throw early, and Michael Epps might get his first interception as a Raider.
No, there's no question that with the lineup that we have now, we can do lots and lots of things up front to force the offense into mistakes. That's the real point of it all.
Just Wilkins, we are now a top 5 defense with just adding Wilkins. And I know a lot of people are bitching. We haven't done a lot in free agency.
They don't understand. They don't know.
We turned around and we took a bottom defense who all of a sudden started playing well in the last half of the season when AP took over and made themselves a top 10 defense. You add Wilkins, now you're talking about a top 5 defense. that can keep up with any team in the NFL, that can keep up with Mahomes and the Chiefs, who you're trying to beat in the division anyways. And we all see what happens when you frustrate Mahomes when he can't run and he can't throw the fucking ball. What ends up happening?
He makes mistakes.
Yep.
Lots
And one fun fact for you guys out there is Wilkins. Wilkins in his rookie year played under Patrick Graham in that system, so he has a familiarity. And you have guys like Butler,
He's also
Adam
Butler and Jenkins
in Miami. So they know his style. He has basically two big brothers right there that can help him out with any new terminology and all that. So he's basically like a plug and play, an upgrade to anybody in the middle that we had before.
Wilson under his wing because he felt like they got a bond because of his rookie season. He felt Wilson's rookie season was a lot like his, so he's like, I'm going to take him. He's already said he's going to take him under his wing. So what's that going to help? How does that help Wilson? You got Max Crosby and Wilkins helping you out in your second year when you're fully healthy. I think Tyree's about to break out and be a beast as well. Now you
I love we can move him around. I love that he can move around. We want to create problems for the O-line on nearly every down. And now I think we have the tools to do it. I really do. Yeah. For the first time, the defensive coordinator has the ability to create significant disruption up front. And when that happens, I don't care what his game plan, a quarterback, I don't care how good the quarterback is, he's going to be rushing around. He's going to try to be.
All he's going to hear is footsteps. And you don't know what side it's coming from. All he's going to hear is footsteps.
That's right.
And when you have a defensive head coach who basically took the shackles off of Patrick Graham when they got rid of McDaniels, and that defense upgraded, went up the rankings real quick. Now let's just see how that looks with a full season. That's what I can't wait to see.
And an off season.
And an off season. That's the key thing all the way around for a lot of these players. The full off season.
That's how you inculcate your system. Guys, I gotta run. I wish I could stay longer. I mean, as always, it's delightful. And I learned so much listening to you guys, especially about these rule changes. Because they were mystifying me. 2 weeks, I'll see you in 2 weeks Wednesday, okay?
We can't wait for you to be back on.
All right, now. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye. Peggy, as always, bringing the heart.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. You can't hear yourself?
Okay, I can't hear you. Let me come back in. You just give me two seconds. Continue with the show. Make a joke or something. Hold on.
I am the joke. But I would like to thank Peggy. She's always coming in with the hard-hitting questions, answers. Always trying to open everyone's eyes. As we go, we've talked about. Oh, is he back? We see him. Can you hear me?
Hold on. Let me try this again. Hold on. It must be my browser. Hold on real quick. You continue, but hold on real quick.
So let's go through the comments. I know we've missed a lot. We got Anna in here. We have Speedy. Hopefully he's still in here. Yes, we hear Savage, but he's having problems hearing me. So it goes. That's the way it goes. We all have technical difficulties sometimes. He's moved his shit around, and that's it is what it is on that. But as we were talking, the defense, I'm loving what I'm seeing out of this possibility of the defense. I know it's always on paper. They want to say, but I think this is more than just on paper. He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
And I have ears. I can hear things now. Yes.
Wow. That didn't take long. You grew those back real fast.
Oh, yeah. I'm like Mickey Mouse. Kind of. Not really. Yeah. Well, so, I'm in my new studio and going through the kinks, so it is what it is. But we're here. I'm back. And hold on. Wait.
I'm here. I'm here in the new studio. I'm here.
And we're back. Okay, so we were supposed to have Lorenzo Lerma, but he is still working. So I don't know. Does that mean we continue the contest for another week at least?
Maybe. He just sent me a message. I'm going to see what's going on.
Well, yeah, we're out here just trying to figure out what's going on. It is what it is.
He's kind of working right now. He says he's going to be hitting a spot at 6:09, which is technically right now. So we'll see what his response is. He might not be coming on. I'm going to say this much, since we did say about the drawing would be on this and he'd be doing it. If we do not have him on, I would say it goes at least another week.
All right, we're going to continue the contest where if you go and share one of his flyers, go to his page, Lorenzo Lerma, go to Asylum's page, go to Oakland Raiders Savage's page, that is me, and you see the flyers.
Is that really me? I did not know. Without the glasses, I couldn't tell.
Well, I try to stay away, where government officials can't find me. This is why I use my stage name and not my government name. Rogelio Johnson? No, I don't know. But yeah. So let's talk about what we're going to do in the future for these shows coming up, leading up to the draft. We will have some special guests. Raider Man will be on in the next couple of weeks. Him and Demon King will be talking about their mock drafts, who they would like on the first round, on the 13th pick. We will also be having our own mock draft episode next week. This is going to be my first time doing mock draft, so it's going to be interesting in what we do, and we want to include you guys in it, Raider Nation out there who watch the show. We want to do a live mock draft, basically, and it will be aided by the comments of the viewers. So that'll come up.
The mock draft that we're going to do will be able to involve trades. So, we will get it all set up on what we're expecting. I guess all of us are going to be playing GM. So we're going to have, I guess, what is it like? You'll be the angel, I'll be the devil on the shoulder, going back and forth, and just make a decision that way, aided by our fans in the comments, and see how it plays out and see who we end up with. The Raider Nation's version of the mock draft on the Cage Match Show.
Yes, because you've seen everybody else, and they have their own mock drafts, whether it's ESPN, NFL Network, Fox Sports, YouTube, the radio, CB radio, DVD. I'm trying to think of other outlets. YouTube already. Disney Plus. Yeah, Laserdisc. That's old school. If you
hey, so is DVDs nowadays. What are you talking about?
So I still got a whole shelf full of DVDs, okay? And I got
a bunch of boxes worth full of DVDs. What's your point? Blu-rays too. Now it's finding a player that can play this shit.
That's called a PS4, right? That's what it is.
No, that's called an Xbox One or PS3 for me. I don't have a PS4.
Well,
I like other things. I wonder if this is an option. Trade the NFL refs for the NHL refs.
Let them fight in the ice. Let them fight in the grass.
They might be able to fight. Then there'll be a whole bunch of cage match worthy content. Just like, is there going to be any fights today? There should be, but
yeah, because let's talk about that. We said it last week. We were debating, is the NFL getting soft? And I know we talk about
Yeah.
player safety and everything like that, and throughout the years since the 70s, they changed the rules a lot to aid the offense because they wanted more scoring touchdowns. And a lot of times when a league starts altering
On the ESPN
rules,
Ocho, we missed the fight on ESPN Ocho, according to Anna.
well, are we all gonna watch that Mike Tyson fight when he goes against Jake Paul? Are we gonna watch that one?
I mean, I want to, only with the hopes that fucking Mike Tyson knocks out Jake Paul, because I'm tired of his fucking punk ass mouth and everything else. But and not to mention to be able to talk shit saying he got knocked out by a 60-year-old man. But unfortunately, it's more like an exhibition. The only way you win is by a knockout. So I mean, otherwise there's no winner in other bullshit. So they're trying to.
This is not a.
Just like the NFL. You know, it sounds like they're just trying to make it a fucking soft fight, just to give Jake Paul some credit.
So you're saying this is just like when Mike Tyson fought Roy Jones Jr. a couple years ago?
Like that's what they're trying to do. Yes.
No, I want Mike Tyson can handle a real boxing match. I feel like he was doing a lot to hold back.
I get the Roy Jones. I mean, that's a real boxer. I get the Roy Jones and shit like that. But a Jake Paul, he should be able to knock his ass out easy. But they changed it. It's not 3-minute rounds. It's 2-minute rounds. It's, you know, they're doing all this shit. And the excuse is they're using Mike Tyson's age.
George Foreman.
Jake Paul's got power or something, not compared to Mike Tyson.
George Foreman came back and fought in boxing an actual, like, I don't know if it was a title. I don't think it was a title match, but he came back and actually, had a, wasn't no exhibition rules. He came back
and fought into his 50s.
Bernard Hopkins. I remember Bernard Hopkins. He gave Trinidad his first loss, and that was right after September 11th. They said Trinidad overtrained because that match was supposed to be that weekend after September 11th, and everything got postponed because, of course, the tragedies in New York. And then when they fought, Trinidad looked sluggish, and Hopkins. I'm not gonna make excuses, even though Puerto Rican. I have a poster of Trinidad somewhere, but yeah. So I don't know, but going back to player safety.
Don't lie.
What other rules do you think? And we're just gonna go off the cuff. Right, we're not the cuff. We're gonna just go playmaker right now. What other rules has the NFL, let's say, changed from the glory days of violence and whatever? What other rule do you disagree with? Any rule changes you disagree with when it comes to
getting rid of the bump and run?
I don't know. I don't want to say player safety or whatever, but just I guess just in a player standpoint, what other rule do you dislike? In the NFL now that has changed the game.
And quarterbacks should be able to, hand fight for a ball. They got rid of the bump and run. I hate that. It's only the 5-yard. You used to be able to, attack a receiver when he was getting off the line and be able to go and knock him out of the game. But the biggest one is I like to see some hand, allowing the hand fighting. Stop calling that as PI. How many times do you see these receivers catch the ball one-handed? They catch it one-handed. I like to see. Can you not hear me?
I am
Hello?
happy.
Are you? Okay, well, he'll come back when the time comes. But me personally, I like to see, receivers and DBs be able to hand fight a little bit. I like to, both players have the right to the ball. I'm tired of the fact of just the receiver has the right. The defender has to wait till he catches the ball before he can do anything. You there?
Yes.
Hear us? Okay. Did you hear what I said at all?
Yeah, you said using your hands to wave them up in the air, waving like you just don't care. I'm sorry, the sound went out, and I'm all like, wait a minute, what's going on? See, I'm having, just moved into my new permanent spot over here, my new little studio. So there's gonna be a little kinks. You can still hear me, right?
I can hear you. No, we can hear you. No problems.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I
the fair catch thing.
Bump and run. I said the bump and run, and then I want them to be able to hand fight, both receivers and DBs, be able to hand fight for the ball. Each player has the right to go for the ball, and if they're hand fighting over it, how many times do you see receivers catch the ball with one hand? Especially with these gloves they got nowadays. It happened again, didn't it? We can't hear you now either. Hold on, let me let him know this, guys. So I'm going to go back over here, though. And where's the comments? I see Miss Anna had her own thing here. She hates that they cannot jump over when they get ready for a field goal. And I know what play she's talking about. Polamalu made that, Troy Polamalu made that play kind of famous as of late. Yes, he does, Anna. He moved to a new spot, and now it's, he got water on Gizmo, and now he's got gremlins.
Yes, because Gizmo is a cute little animal, but he makes scary kids.
We just said you got water on Gizmo. There was a difference.
Oh, yeah. Well, I do have a Furby over here somewhere, and I did take it out of its cage. So I don't know if the bad juju of a Furby is possessing the house. So gonna have to do a Furby flush, I guess you can say.
Flush.
But I'm back, and I think if I don't touch nothing, everything will be fine. I think I hit this cord, so after the show, I'm gonna do a little rearranging of the cords and all that, but that's fine. We're just having. Oh, here it is. See, the Furby.
Hey, at least it's the right colors.
I know. We have a black Furby, and he's black and white, which is actually the same color as my cat down here. So I went to go put him next to him, and they like locked eyes, and then like evil came. I don't know what happened, but it's taking over the house. So we're gonna have to do a little seance or whatever. But this Furby right here.
Get yourself some sage.
Yes, some sage. Sana. Okay, yeah. So, but it's okay.
As we were talking about, Anna hates that you cannot jump over players when they're getting ready to kick a field goal.
Oh yeah, that's that Charles. Well, I don't want to say it's a Charles Woodson rule, but that's what we all discovered that.
Troy Polamalu made that Troy famous. That play more famous than Woodson did.
But how many times did he get flagged for it?
Polamalu?
Yeah.
He started getting flagged for it when they made the rule. They made the rule because of Troy Polamalu.
But do you remember it was Raiders at Mile High, so at the Broncos, and it was when Charles Woodson, he didn't even jump off of nobody. He had that vertical jump where he went to go try to jump straight up, like he took one step and then jumped straight up, and he was trying to block the field goal. He didn't hit it, but the referee saw how high he jumped and thought he wouldn't use the center as an or the nose tackle as an aid to hop up, and they still flagged him for that, even though the replay clearly saw that he went straight up from the ground. And see, those are one of those things that if you didn't see it, don't throw the flag. And I don't know, a lot of these refs, it's funny, they see penalties that don't happen, but they don't see penalties that actually happen. And going back to what Peggy had said earlier, how are you going to determine what to call a holding? I would say if you see a player that's twisted around sideways, like you see Max getting twisted sideways, and you see the arm inside, because a holding penalty.
Hold on. I've seen Max Crosby in damn near a chokehold and not be called.
Yeah, those are the ones that has to have. I mean, the referees have to see that. If you see a guy, so I was an offensive lineman coach. Let me go into my offensive lineman coach right now. Okay, when you coach Savage, when you engage a man, when you go in to block, your hands can only stay like right here. So it has to stay in front of you. You can grab onto the chest plate. Yeah, the chest plate of the pads, you can grab on, but once you start to try and be in the middle of the camera, once you start to drift and you start to pull away one way, you have to let go. This is legal. Where's the camera? This is legal. There we go. This is legal. This going this way is now illegal. That is now a holding because you're not engaged in front of the defender. And you have to start letting go. And a lot of refs allow the tackles to hold on to the rushing ends or the rushing linebackers. It seems like they're allowed to do so, which is against the rules of offensive line of holding.
The Chiefs get called the most for holding and then still get called the least because they hold even more often than they don't fucking, that doesn't get seen.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, where I live, I get to see that every goddamn week.
And I don't know if they're being lenient towards the tackles or the outside, whether it's a tight end, the more outside blocker of the box, if they're being more lenient because the quarterbacks are more mobile, so it's hard to determine for an offensive lineman, where is he at? I don't want to go and ride the guy outward, and then I actually run the guy right into my quarterback because he wants to take off running without even going through his progressions. So I don't know, and this all goes back to the referees trying to determine the thinking of the players that committed the infraction. How is a referee supposed to go and watch a sport that goes 1,000 miles per hour and determine, like dissect it in real time? Oh, that was a holding. Oh, that was a PI. Oh, that was a illegal whatever. Like you're making too many rules. You're making too many rules for a referee to determine the outcome of these games. Ticky-tack fouls. It's like in basketball. I don't even know what a foul is anymore. It's like when I'm a Warrior fan. You're a Warrior fan. We're Warrior fans here. And I'm going to go back to game 5 of the finals, Warriors versus LeBron. When LeBron stepped over.
Which LeBron team? Cavs?
The Cavaliers.
Okay.
Yeah. That's when the Warriors are going to repeat. The first out they won in 15. In 2016 when they had the record, they had the regular season record.
73-6 or whatever it was.
Yeah. They went in that game 5. I don't know. I forgot exactly what happened, but Draymond ended up on the ground, and LeBron stepped over him.
Yeah,
and they say that should be, well, they don't have unsportsmanlike in baskall, but that should have been something technical. And he like went up and hit him up because it's like you're walking over me.
He nut shot at him. Yeah.
Yeah. Now they didn't. I think they had like a regular foul. There was no discussion on was that flagrant, was that a technical, but it was the day after that game. The refs went back and they reviewed the tape. The game's already over. We decided we're gonna give both sides a technical. Unfortunately for you, Draymond, yeah, you
next game.
You've exceeded your limit of technicals, and you've been suspended for that game. And I feel like the NFL is going to turn into something where it's all these ticky-tack fouls because you can't land a certain way.
You already got flopping on the field. I mean, they're learning from LeBron, and they're fucking getting fucking flags thrown for that shit.
And that's what I'm saying. It's going to be hard for a referee to determine what is this and what is that. What is holding or not? What is holding? That's easy to tell. Whatever. But what is a tackle?
Because it's not called all the time.
Yeah. That's what I said. I don't know if these refs are trying to get into the minds of the players. Well, I don't think he meant to hold him because his quarterback ran behind him, and this quarterback forced him to turn that way. So I'm not going to throw the flag. That's not his fault. But the running back or the DB that's running across the field, and he's like 190 pounds, let's say, to try to take out, like, say, a Derrick Henry. He has to do something to throw off the motion of his body to take him down. And, well, you landed on his legs, so I'm sorry we got 15-yarder because you can't defy gravity.
And look at most quarterback sacks. It's when a quarterback is scrambling out of the pocket and he gets hit because the guy's coming up behind and falls on his legs. That I have a feeling that's what's going to get called too, as well.
They should just do. They should all. You have 4 defensive linemen, and they all do alligators. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator, 4 alligator, 5 alligator, 6 alligator, 7 alligator, 8 alligator.
Are we going to play 5 or 7?
Well, it depends. I guess we got to do 5. We'll do 5. But if you, there will be a rule. It would be a stutter rule or a slur rule where you slurred your rules when you called your alligators. We're going to do a 10-yard penalty on the defense.
No, that's what I just said. You could have 5 alligators or 7 alleys.
Well, but I'm saying, but you know, back in play when you play in the playground, 1 alley, 2 alley, 3 alley, 4 alley. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Flag,
when
slurring.
It was either alligator or alleys. 1 alley, 2 alley, 3 alley, 4 alley, 5 alley, 6 alley.
I know, but were you when you said your alleys or your alligators, were you very, did you speak clearly?
I was, because I was fast, so I could see the guy anyways. If he didn't throw the ball by the time I started moving in, he was done for.
I mean, you have one guy right there, and he can't.
I be fat, but I still got wheels, okay? Trust me. Ask my softball team.
You can just have one guy there. He can't cross line of scrimmage until we finish counting. He can go in front of him. He can block him. He can be like 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator, 4 alligator, 5 alligator, 6 alligator, 7 alligator, and then chase him down. I don't know what else they're going to do to change the rules and try to make it safer. The more you try to make this violent sport safe, the more it's going to turn into a different sport.
No, and it is. And I still think if it's going to change, and I'm all for safety of players, don't get me wrong. But the more you try to be safe, the more players get hurt.
Because they're thinking too much.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it before with that Derek Carr fucking penalty where a guy fucking lost the season because he didn't want to flatten Derek Carr and he hurt his shoulder or elbow that put him out for the season. And Derek Carr even said, I'd rather him just to swish me than him getting hurt because I'm taking harder hits than that. But the only reason he got hurt was because he tried to brace himself so he didn't pancake him. And if he was just able to tackle him and pancake, or I'm sorry, not even pancake, just fall on top of him, he would never have gotten hurt.
And see, and that's, I want to say that's what the NFL, the suits, I don't know if they don't, if you look at a regular football field, all you see is grass, just 100 yards of grass and flat, whatever. But the condition of each play changes all the time. It's like when I hurt my ankle, when I used to work at a delivery company, they have the naming rights to to the Commanders / Redskins / the WTF football team, whatever you want to call them now. They own the rights to that stadium. I don't know if purple and orange, K. You get my colors right, all right?
Well, they had white too, so okay. Sorry.
Yeah, they all have white. But anyways, I was coming out the truck. I went to go park in a warehouse, or it was like a little mini warehouse area, and they had it was just chewed up driveway, like the floor where you drive in, it was all chewed up, just potholes and everything. But when I stepped out the truck, my foot hit the side, like the edge of a pothole, and I came down and I pulled, like I severed one of my ligaments on the top of my ankle. I had to get surgery for that. But see, they try to say I was unsafe because I should have known that pothole was there. And my senior manager at the time, dumbass, he says, I can say that now because I don't work there no more. He said, whoa, it's like when I come out the stairs of my house, I know that final step, it's uneven ground. So you need to know.
Obviously, he doesn't have kids because he didn't know that fucking Hot Wheels car and Lego was on that fucking third step that he steps on.
And that's what I'm saying is no matter where I park I can do that stop 10 times a day. I'm not going to park exactly in the same spot I did the previous time. So the conditions are always going to change when I step down on.
Was it raining? Uh-oh, we lost you. Unmute yourself. Uh-oh. Gremlins came
There we go.
back.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. It wasn't raining. It was not raining. It was a sunny day, but I was just coming out and I just stepped because I had a package in one hand and I had my scanner in the other, and I went to go step down and I just ended up, So, but that's my fault because.
Well, at least you made whose fault it is.
Well, that's what they say. It was my fault. I don't care. I got money out of it. So, boom. Anyways, these people, they don't see like the conditions of each play that happens. It changes. Okay, you can trip over a pulling guard, trip over him, and then fall over and then hit the quarterback below his knees. But that's your flag because you should have known that guard was going to pull. You kicked his leg, and now you just fell over and knocked Tom Brady out for the rest of the season. How's that my fault? I lost my footing because of his that clumsy guy on the other team tripped me. How about a tripping call on that? Well, it wasn't intentional. He wasn't trying to do that. No flag, but you hit Tom Brady in his knee. I wasn't trying to hit Tom Brady in his knee. I fell over. Yeah, but that's what we saw. Flag.
Well, I mean, that's even like, not like, but that's like that rule of an offensive player, running back or a wide receiver could stiff arm to the face mask, but it's not a face mask. But anybody else touches a face mask, it's a flag.
Yeah, and I've seen running backs grab the face mask and turn his helmet down so that guy's out of the picture. But that's not a penalty.
That's not. But anybody else does it, and it's a penalty.
But a defensive player can go,
or offensive lineman.
Yeah, well, they can go and graze the face mask, almost hook but let go. Oh no, you turned his head. That's a flag. And then you had the unintentional face mask, then you had the severe one. They took out the unintentional one, so we'll just make it all 15. Make it all 15. Automatic first down, 15-yard penalty. You face masked him. I wasn't trying to. I felt it and I let go. Yeah, but you still turned his head. Flag. And now the Chiefs won their third championship.
Yep.
So these plays, I mean, I want to go back in time and I want this play reviewed and I want a flag. And then I want I mean, we won this game. This game, we still won this game. It was the game after. This game is what killed us.
But we lost the best running back to probably ever play the game.
Yeah.
He would hold every fucking record in the record book right now if this play never happened.
how many Super Bowls do you think we would have won if this play never happened? Because they went to the championship game the following week without Bo Jackson, and we got destroyed by the Bills to go back and continue, or to go to the Super Bowl, and they had their 4 years of Super Bowl appearances, no wins, but
which is impressive enough by itself.
yeah, and Marv Levy's still alive. He's 98 years old, the head coach.
God damn!
I just looked him up the other. Yeah, I was curious the other day, and I was like, I wonder how old if Marv Levy's still alive. And it said he's 98 years old. I said, oh wow, that's crazy.
Jesus, I hope to live that long. Shit,
I think he can still coach.
he probably could. Shit, he's probably forgot more football than the rest of us fucking ever knew.
Oh yeah. He's like, what is this tackling? What are you talking about? Well, Marv, listen here, okay? In the last couple of years, we've seen 5 plays where a guy got his legs caught up underneath and he got injured. So we decided to make a penalty, throw a flag, and here we are. Wait, are you coughing? Are you calling this BS? Is that what you're saying?
Hey,
Flag.
We've already made our call about that. We already
That's
said
a
it's
flag.
overreacting to shit. That's not a flag.
That's a flag on.
The flag's sewn in now. They can't throw it.
Did you do that to the referee? I'm sorry, you're not throwing no flag because. Hey, and that is why the Raiders didn't have as many penalties as they did, because the flag was sewed on to the hand of the referee. Because Asylum has the referee's, what is that? A voodoo doll. So that's why they couldn't throw no flags, because Asylum had it sewed on.
Yeah, you know, that one ref felt his head come off and it scared the shit out of him, so he doesn't throw any flags no more.
He doesn't throw any flags anymore because Furby magic.
Furby magic. Between the Furby and the voodoo doll, you know, the rest are going to be fucked this next season.
Oh yeah, Furby. Well, we don't have any graphics for this, but funny news out of the NFL. We're just going to talk about it. The Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
The Chiefs. Is it the state of Missouri or is it the city of what exactly happened?
What happened was the Chiefs, well, not just the Chiefs and Royals put a thing on the ballot to get voted on to try to get money for the Royals to get a new stadium and the Chiefs to get upgrades. And the voters, not unanimously, but decisively told them, fuck off, we ain't paying shit. And so the Chiefs are not getting upgrades and the Royals are not getting a new stadium. Not anytime soon.
Hold on, I'm going to see. Oh, here it is. I don't have the background for it, but here is the graphic that I'm uploading right now. The magic of television right here.
See, the state. See,
on?
Jackson County, Missouri. The whole
there
county
it is.
said,
I think there it is.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. It says, breaking
Okay,
news.
see.
Jackson County, Missouri has voted against the sales tax extension to fund stadium projects for the Chiefs. Seems likely that the Chiefs will be moving elsewhere per NBC.
You know, and how does that feel? You just brought the city of Kansas City, Missouri, 2 straight Super Bowl victories. And they're like, you know what? It's enough. We don't need no more. We can't fund this anymore because it's not in the budget.
Hey, no, they don't want to pay the extra money for it. They're like, we pay enough going to the stadium. We pay enough for the tickets. We pay enough for the parking, for the hot dogs. Goddamn, the beers are fucking, you know, outrageous.
Yeah.
They figure they pay enough that way.
And you know, I don't know if teams are trying to follow. Well, the Raiders benefit from the stadium revenue or whatever to pay off the debt or whatever, the construction of the stadium, whatever. The Raiders benefit from being in a city that has a lot of tourists, so it has a lot of money always coming in Vegas, whether it's gambling, hotels, whatever. Well, it's really the hotel tax. So Raiders are having everybody else pay for that stadium. Even if you're not even a football fan, if you're not even going to a Raider game, you checking in at a hotel in Las Vegas, a part of that goes to the stadium. And I don't know if other teams are trying to find ways to use that business model to fund whatever they need for their stadiums, but this is like why I guess you can say Oakland couldn't keep. Well, also we had bad management out here with the mayors, bad leadership with the mayors. The mayors at the time when the Raiders were negotiating with the NFL for a new stadium out here, but the Chiefs, they don't have that luxury of having a town of consistent tourism and money generating like Vegas does. So, what other places can you see the Chiefs calling themselves home? That's what you get. First of all, that's what you get, Chiefs, for after you win the Super Bowl. You want to go and put your flag in the middle of the football field, thinking you're claiming that Allegiant Stadium is yours. You might not even have your own home. So, what other places?
I still think this stems back to Christmas Day and the ass whooping they got by the Raiders is why the fans said, no, we just can't do it. You lost to the Raiders.
I don't care if you win a Super Bowl. You lost to the Raiders. How do you lose to the Raiders? Even though that was their last loss of that season, they went and, went all the way, won the Super Bowl, beat the Niners. Good for nothing Niners. But, speaking of that, I was going through some paperwork because I was, going into my new desk. And I found this list I printed a long time ago. So this is from like the late 90s, okay? So this aged a little, some of the stuff on here, but just follow me on this, okay? I thought this was funny. This is the differences between Raiders and Niner fans. You ready?
I'm ready.
Niner fans, wine and cheese. Raider fan, beer and pork rinds. Hey! All right. Niner fans, high tech. Raider fans, high times. Niner fans, tea time. Raider fans, Miller time. Oh, yeah, Miller time.
Budweiser.
Hey, we're trying to get sponsors out there, so any more sponsors, let's do this. Niner fans, Chinatown. Raider fans, Funky Town. Funky Town. Okay. Niner fan, this is true right here. Niner fans, bandwagon. Oh, yeah. Bandwagon. Where's do I have a? I don't have one. I thought I did. Oh, I do. Maybe I do. No, I thought I had boo. Anyways, Niner fans, bandwagon. Raider fans, paddy wagon. Woo!
Paddy wagon. Woo!
Niner fans, stadium election. Raider fans, stadium ejection. Get out of here. Can't stand your rough rap around here. Niner fans, saving bonds. Raider fans, bail bonds. Bail bonds. Bad boy bail bonds. Remember that? Niner fans, SNL. I don't know what that is. Raider fans, PSL. Remember the PSLs?
They're doing that now. They still got PSLs.
A personal seat license for all those who are trying to figure out what PSL stands for. Personal seat license, or I couldn't think of nothing off the fly. Whatever. Niner fans, stock market. Raider fans, flea market. Hey, right down the street of Highland. Right down the street of High Street.
Don't fuck with my flea markets. I like my flea markets.
Hey, that's what we claim, man. Raider fans, the opera. Raider fans, Monday Night Football. All right. Niner fans spoiled. Raider fans hungry. Niner fans, spectator, Raider fans, 12th man. Oh, yeah. You came into the Oakland Coliseum. You're not just facing the team on the field. You're facing the people out in the stands.
Yeah, but, technically the Seahawks fucking claim the 12th man.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, I don't care. They're not doing that now.
I'm just saying they got the whole 12th man thing. They got a flag they put up every time that says 12. And, I'm just saying they claim it.
Yeah, I know.
From us,
Okay, this might be out of date. Niner fans, Clark's by the Bay. Raider fans, Ricky's Sports Bar. The original Ricky's Sports Bar. Let's get that.
The original. Get it right. The original.
Let's get that straight. With Ricky Ricardo, that's his actual name, the owner, not Lucy's the husband. Ricky Ricardo, okay? That's his actual name. I took a picture with him. We all met him. If you go to Ricky's, you know who Ricky Ricardo was.
Oh,
rest in peace.
If you've been to Ricky's back in the day, you know who Ricky is.
Yes, rest in peace, Ricky. Niner fans, Richard Simmons. Raider fans, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The Governor.
The Governor. Niner fans, Pretty in Pink. Raider fans, real men wear black.
Wait. Oh, I'm here.
Okay, wrong button. All right. Niner fans, winning with class. Raider fans, pride and poise. This was I was laughing last night when I read this. Niner fans, domestic partner. Raider fans, wife or husband. I want to get people upset of the LBGYNs. I don't know what the
alphabets.
Yes, my sister calls them Alphabet Mafia.
Alphabet, yeah, the way they are, you don't want to trigger nobody.
But hey, I have nothing against them. Just saying is we're all having fun here, okay? Niner fans, John Tesh. Raider fans, AC/DC. Oh, yes.
Or Metallica. You could add Metallica into that one.
Or Metallica. Don't get it twisted, everybody out there, okay? Okay, whatever. Niner fans, Critical Mass Bicycle Race. Raider fans, Harley Davidson Sturgis Run. Oh, Puppet, where you at? Where's Puppet at? Puppet goes to Sturgis for these events over there. Niner fans.
I've always wanted to do the Sturgis ride.
Yeah, see, the one time Puppet's not on the chat line. Come on, Puppet, where you at? Sturgis, represent.
I know, we're going to have to get in his ass about that one.
I know. How dare. Well, he already gets in the Puppets. Okay, anyways. Raider fans, gerbils. I'm sorry, Niner fans, gerbils. Raider fans, pit bulls. It says Niner fans, Oldsmobile. Raider fan, old mobile. I guess an old vehicle. If a putt putts, I can get there. I don't care. Just take me to the BART. Niner fans. Niner fans, Jazzercise. Raider fans, Pump and Iron. Going back to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, yeah.
The Governator.
Niner fans, America's Funniest Videos. Raider fans, America's Most Wanted. And last one, this is for you ones in the 90s, to going back in time to the 90s. Niner fans, Ellen, the show, Ellen DeGeneres, the sitcom. Raider fans.
I call it
not Ellen DeGenerate, Ellen DeGeneres. Even though
degenerate. I know what I said. It's degenerate.
Yeah, I know. There has been rumors that it hasn't been a pleasant working environment, despite how the show in front of the camera looked. Anyways, Niner fans, Ellen. Raider fans, Roseanne. Oh yeah, that is your list right there. Oh yeah, let's get the whole crowd into this. Oh yeah, right there. We're just off the cuff doing it all right now. What else do I have in this little? I feel like
Omaha.
I feel like Carrot Top. Hey, and speaking of Budweiser, I got Budweiser playing cards right here. Hey, Budweiser, we need a sponsor over here. We're just feeling in the time because
I hit him up, but just haven't heard nothing yet.
Yeah, well, if you drink beer and it's Budweiser, let them know the cage match would be sponsored by. Oh,
hey, you always see it being drunk on the show. You always have it right here. Must avoid Budweiser.
It sounded like Asylum said, "You always see him be drunk on the show." Sponsored by Budweiser. So yeah.
If the shoe fits, I'll wear it.
And that's what we are in a controlled environment. Each one of us, he is not behind the wheel of a vehicle. So he's just doing what all us Raider fans do.
Hey, next time we beat the Chiefs, I want to be behind the bus. I want to be driving the bus.
So,
Ghost Rider.
and that was I came across that list last night. I said I'm gonna use this on the show, and I was like, oh wait, there it is right there. It's perfect timing because.
Hey, look, you didn't even tell me about that during our phone calls today.
I totally forgot about it, bruh.
Until you saw it sitting right in front of you.
Until I saw it right there in front of me. You know what? We can do one more topic. Let's go. Let's talk about
top 10 list. Oh,
no, we don't have to talk. Well, I said places would be funny for the Chiefs to go to. Do you have that written down?
I don't have I have that. I left that list at work. All I know is I thought the best one we had was what we were going to call number one. And anybody who knows the history of the Chiefs knows they were the Texans before they moved to Kansas City. And I thought it'd be hilarious for them to go back to Texas and become the Houston Oilers.
The Houston Oilers rebrand them back to another old franchise.
Hey, did you see that thing I sent you, though? I sent you something. The Dallas mayor is calling for the Chiefs to come to Dallas.
Well, you know what? That's the same thing with Jerry Jones was trying to get the Raiders to go down to San Antonio.
Yeah, well, that's because he wanted a real team to be able to have a feud with.
Hey, the Texans are coming up with the trade they made today for Stephon Diggs.
Right.
So,
the Texans are trying to do something. I'll give it to them. They're fucking CJ Stroud, now fucking Stephon Diggs. And I don't know what Stephon Diggs did in Buffalo, but they're eating $31 million in dead cap space, even though they traded him. They still got to eat $31 million. That's the highest ever for a non-quarterback in dead cap space.
I mean, what? Oh, no, I was going to say non-quarterback. I'm more like, that's just like what happened with the Broncos when they got rid of, when they released Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but they're eating $82 million, though.
Yeah, I wonder how that tastes.
Like defeat?
Like defeat? It probably smells like defeat. And
then Anna's bringing up the other news that the Chiefs have been in as of lately. Their wide receiver,
speaking of Chiefs in Dallas,
there's an incident. We don't know anything other than there was an incident where a Lamborghini and a Corvette were racing, caused a 6-car accident. The driver of the Corvette and the Lamborghini fled the scene. There's apparently people heard them saying, grab the guns, whatever, but we don't know who was driving. All we know is at least one of the vehicles, my money's on the Lamborghini, is registered to Rashad Rice. And if it was me, I'm not lending out my Lamborghini. And if that motherfucker's lending out Lamborghinis, I would like to be his friend, close friend at that, because I want to borrow the car. If you're just letting your buddies fucking borrow the car, I like to borrow the car just for a weekend. That's all.
Well, Anna says she posted it on her Facebook. If you want to go, if you do have Anna on Facebook, you can go to her page and see the actual footage. I didn't see the footage yet.
Oh, I didn't know there was footage.
I didn't know there was footage, but I mean, ever since the Chiefs had traded away the Cheetah, it seems like all these receivers that they try to replace him with, it has not been. I mean, and they won Super Bowls. Okay, I'm not trying to be a full hater, but they won Super Bowls. But I mean, you have one receiver that I don't know what offsides is. the neutral zone. You have another receiver that just kept doing TikTok dances or something, and then you got this one over here.
That was Mahomes' brother.
Oh yeah. And right now, you have this. So maybe this is another reason why, we can't keep funding you guys. You guys are out there, they want to talk about the Raiders in Las Vegas. They got the Chiefs. I guess that's, they got nothing else to do. I don't know. But with an hour and 50, I think we were able to fill it in the last hour of the show. But I want to play this clip real quick. This is an interesting little thing that Davante Adams had said on the show. I saw it on YouTube, but the show was called The Shop. And this is what Davante Adams had to say about Jakobi Meyers on that show.
Davante, I think you're the best in the league at your position, one of the greats to ever do it, but you talked about always being a student of the game, always learning. Will you ever get to the point where you're not learning how to be, because you look like you don't got anything else to learn playing wide receiver, from the slot, out wide, anywhere.
That's definitely not true, and that's never the mentality that anybody should ever have, let alone me. Like, I'm learning something new. Like, the thing is, you can learn in so many different ways. Like, I learned from new guys. Like, I learned from Jakobi this year, like, so much that I didn't know before. Like,
wow.
You shouldn't have let him go.
I was gonna get to that, but I ain't gonna say that. I appreciate you though. He was basically like the best kept secret, like in the league.
What is one thing Jakobi taught you that you didn't know?
It's not really about the teach, because he's one of the most quiet human beings I've ever been around. Like some people they so quiet to where it's uncomfortable. If he wasn't so cool of a person, it would be there. So he's not gonna be like, hey Tate, like try this or that. But just like certain small things, like within his routes. He's not the fastest guy in the world, so he's really good at changing. Like, he can move within his routes, change a pace while he's running full speed is something, probably one of the best that I've seen so far. Like, we got a route called a read it route, where you dive in, get back vertical, and then based off the leverage of the guy defending you, you either break it across this way or go across this way. And the way he just set people up, like, you almost just, like, it's like watching basketball. Like, people tell me that all the time, but I feel like he looks more like he's playing basketball on the football field.
So you would watch him and then be like, oh, I'm doing that.
Hell yeah.
So, with that, remember how a long time ago, which was last year, when it seemed like a long time ago because of McDaniels, when Jakobi Meyers,
That was ages ago.
I felt like it.
I mean, we're talking about years.
It felt like it the way that season started off before we switched head coach or changing of the guard. But we were all very critical of the acquisition of Jakobi Meyers, because we all remember before he came a Raider, his last touchdown pass was to another former Patriot, Chandler Jones. CTE's not real. And he had that. Yeah, he had that touchdown. So we were all like, really? Jakobi Meyers, that's who we're getting? But hey, that seemed to be someone that the Raiders, at the time, the GM Ziegler brought in, and he seemed to be one of the steals, I guess, of last year's free agency.
I was going to say, that was about one of the only good things that McDaniels' regime did, was bringing in Jakobi Meyers.
Yes. And Brian Hoyer.
Bobby Hoyer. Hey now, boy.
I was just joking. But yeah, Jakobi Meyers. This is why I can't wait to see what happens this coming season, to see what Luke Getsy can do. Where's my mouse? Luke Getsy can do with a full off season with Adams, who knows Getsy, and then you have Jakobi, who has been teaching Adams some stuff. I think he also teaches them like how to block downfield, like better downfield too. So that'll be cool to see what happens this next offseason. But remember, this offseason going into next year. But remember, play with the whistle, exactly. But remember, next week we're gonna do they alter plays with their arms too. So anyways, next week, our next week's show, we'll be doing a live mock draft. Rick, I want to see you on the show, Rick. I want to see you, man. I know you're probably working. It's a different time zone out there in Hawaii. I understand, but it's always nice to see you in the comments. We love when you're in the comments. Everyone who's watching the show, whether this is live.
In Hawaii already?
No, it's not tomorrow already.
Well,
we are tomorrow to their Hawaii. They are 2 hours before us, or for me, in the West Coast. But next week's show, live mock draft, me and Asylum. How he says we're gonna play head coach and GM. I want to play head coach.
No, you're gonna play head coach. You're gonna make me be the asshole and be the GM and tell you,
you could be
what I'm doing.
You could be Telesco and I'll be AP.
Why do I feel like I'm what's the word I'm looking for? Being
stereotype or
there you go. Stereotype into a position.
Typecasted.
Typecasted. That's what I was looking for. Typecasted.
Stereotypecasted.
Yeah,
okay, fine. We'll do a coin flip on who could be AP. All right. I still want my name chanting when I come off the show. Okay, Savage, 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 Savage. All right. So next week,
Rick wants to be a scout.
Hey, Rick, you and everybody else in the chat line will be able to tell us what you want to see and the possibilities in the realm, thinking fourth dimensionally right now of how this mock draft is going to go. The Raider Nation mock draft, whoever's in the chat line live can go and tell us how we are going to shape and form the mock draft. It's a mock draft. We wish we can, but
hey, we wish we had more control, or I'm sorry, not control, more input when it came to the Raiders' decisions, but we don't.
Hey, we do though. We got a new coach. Hey,
we had something to do with it. We had something.
You know, when you have Raider fans climbing on Mark Davis's glass wall like 28 days later, you know, okay, I'm gonna change it. Okay, he's fired. Happy Halloween. He's fired. All right. So next week, mock draft, Raider Nation, Asylum, and Oakland Raider Savage. That's me. I remember my name. I was here. We're gonna do a live mock draft where you get to help us decide what we do at the 13th pick. We can do trades. You can trade up, trade down.
So how many rounds are we going to do? We're going to do 3 or 4 rounds.
Depending on how long 2 hours takes.
Well, we have to set it up ahead of time. I got to know. Okay, we'll set it up for 4 rounds.
Okay, we'll do 4 rounds.
How far we get. How about that?
We'll do the Telesco rounds, okay? Because the Raiders have been traditionally good in the later rounds. Example, Max Crosby.
I still don't want Penix, Rick. I hope you're not on that fucking thing. We're not trading up into the first round to get fucking Penix. As the GM, I'm telling you that shit now. We're not trading back up and getting Penix.
I want to draft a beer, okay? Budweiser, draft beer. Let's go.
I got one.
There you go. See? Right away, he makes the pick. Right there, that one pick right there. A can of Budweiser. All right, next week's show, we're going to go on live, and we're going to do, of course, we're always live, but we're going to do our mock draft. We want to make sure all you guys are here 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Central is Mountain Time, I believe.
I don't know, kid. There's like 18
There's
different.
Only 3. There's only 3.
And Rick in Hawaii, that is, I believe, 3 a.m. There's the time change. I'm gonna say it's 3 a.m.
3 hours behind you.
Okay, so that's 2 a.m. That's 2 p.m. in Hawaii. Make sure you get your earpiece in.
Yeah,
type in when you can.
Have your fingers ready. Hey, maybe we try to get a phone line so he could be on the phone and be able to, tell us that way behind the scenes.
Yeah, so with that, and then the contest has been extended at least a week.
We're assuming we're making an executive decision, and if Lorenzo don't like it, well, I get you have to work. You should have said something beforehand. We're going to extend it another week. At least the drawing part.
Yes, remember, tag Oakland Raider Savage, tag Asylum, tag Lorenzo Lerma, go into Lorenzo Lerma's page.
Find a post or a flyer of the kickoff party. They're on all of our pages that we just said. Make sure you tag either Oakland Raider Savage, Asylum, or Lorenzo Lerma, or all three. That works too. Well, yeah, one of those. Doesn't have to be just this one. He's got like 7 of them, I think.
Yeah.
And you get a chance to win Black Hole Section, 2 Black Hole Section tickets to this event.
And you'll have, let's go back to that flyer. You can get an autograph from the one we just talked about, Jacoby Myers, DJ Turner, Divine Diablo, almost said Mount Diablo, Divine Diablo, and legends like Ira Matthews, Greg Townsend, Jeff Barnes, Reggie Kenlaw, all those guys.
Mike Siani. Don't leave out Mike Siani. Come on.
Mike Siani, the receiver from back in the day. I have his book. Over here somewhere. I do have his book.
I have his autograph somewhere.
Yes, so.
But I would mind getting Myers and Diablo for sure.
Yeah.
Just saying. My choice. But
go
he
on.
also, just to let you guys know, he does have VIP tickets, I still believe, available. And the VIP tickets are for the autograph signing. 1 ticket gets you all those autographs. Not 1 autograph, but everybody you saw on that list, 1 ticket gets you all those autographs. So if you're already going or win the tickets and want to go, get yourself the autograph ticket to be able to get all those autographs. And if you want to send me to Jacoby Myers and or Divine Diablo, be my guest. I'll give you my address. Just saying, just saying thank you for the show and everything, Omaha. Sorry.
And if you want to purchase tickets, I just put it down there real quick. It's at Summer Kickoff 2024. Wait, let's read it again. Summer Kickoff 2024.eventbrite.com, and that is on May 11th, the Saturday, Kern County Fairgrounds, Bakersfield, California.
I got something going on that day. I just can't figure out what it is.
I think it's National You Got to Spend More Money on Gifts Day.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
It's going to cost me a shit ton of money one way or the other.
Yes. Continue on the years. Blah, 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 blah. Yes. All right. With that, that is our show for today. We'll be back next week. Like we said, come on. Mock draft, Raider Nation mock draft. Us, me, Raider Savage, and him, Asylum, or Short Side.
AKA Tom Telesco, apparently.
Tom Telesco. Can we alter that? Tom to Asylum Scope. I don't know. All right. With that, Silent Scope.
Hey, you look through it, it makes the funny shapes. I'm a funny shape.
Kaleidoscope.
What I said, Asylum Scope.
Asylum Scope. That's what I see every day. The beers to help me see clear. All right. With that, we say thank you and good night. Come back next week. Mock draft, Raider Nation mock draft. We'll be doing it live, and we're going to go from there.
We are going to do the first that I've seen so far, where Raider Nation actually has a say to be able to help in the draft instead of just getting everybody else's opinion on everything.
Yes. No holds barred. Everyone's voice matters. With that, we got 6 viewers right now.
I know. Do you want to go longer? No, I'm just kidding.
No, we can't.
I know.
See, Rick's ready. All right. With that, we say good night.
Rick already knows how it goes.
Exactly. We say good night, and we'll see you next week. Have a good week, Raider Nation. Getting used to the time change for those who has to deal with it. That 48 out of the 50 states that has to deal with it. With that said, have a good night. Oakland Raider Savage, Asylum, anything?
I just one last time, a happy heavenly birthday to Lyle Alzado. Number 77, number will live in infamy. You know, when you think of crazy, you think of fucking Lyle. So, you know,
Yes.
That's a name and number that will never be forgotten. And just want to say a happy birthday. Wish you were still around, brother.
Yes. All right then. Happy birthday. Almost an asylum. Happy birthday. You know, it's funny, quick story about that. When I was in one of my earlier buildings, I guess or whatever, it's FedEx, whatever. That's where I used to work at. I was crazy and I was, you know, whatever. And I would like I did a lot of stuff I should have got fired for, like throwing scanner guns at people, or not at people, but at managers, you know. Like the helmet rule. I had the scanner rule. And my other manager, he's a big Raider fan. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna call you Salzado because my first name is Sal in real life. You know, I'm call you Salzado. So for that year until I transferred out, I was Salzado. So we all have a little Alzado inside of us. Unleash that Alzado and throw whatever you can at people you don't like. That is the rule. Raider rule number 1 and Raider rule number 2. And Raider rule number 2. C rule number 1.
Refer back to Raider rule number 1.
All right, good night, and let's do a word with from Raider Milt, aka Coach Wallace. Rest in peace. That's another one that'll get in your face. Oh yeah, right there. Have a good night, Raider Nation. Peace out.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight. Again, I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.